Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Extreme Rules review. And the pay-per-view just ended about 30 minutes ago. And this year's Extreme Rules was from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. And Extreme Rules, this show, I was not that hyped for. I was going into the show with it not being a decent show. I thought that this show was going to fucking suck. But the outcome after the show was over, I was like, you know what? This was a decent show. Extreme Rules this year, I thought it was a decent show. I mean, it had matches that were entertaining, that were good. So the good outweighed the bad here for the pay-per-view, in my opinion. So let's get started with the review. So there were two matches that were on the Kickoff show. And first match was, and I didn't get to see these matches. And the first match was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. Apparently, Nakamura won the match. Nakamura is now the Intercontinental Champion. And I'm like, you know, Balor's title reign as the Intercontinental Champion, it was wasted. Balor was wasted with the IC title. Because WWE did not make him, pretty much do anything. And he was kept off TV for a while. So, this wasn't Balor's fault. I mostly put the blame on WWE for, not using Balor. Because he hasn't been on TV, in a while. And the Intercontinental title was kept off of TV. So you just have Balor go out there. They just bought him on TV, just recently, but you have him back on TV recently, and then you just, make him lose the title and put it on Nakamura. Sad. It's sad that, they had to do that with Balor. In my opinion, it wasn't Balor's fault. So Nakamura wins, and he's the new Intercontinental Champion. Then the last match that was on the Kickoff show, it was Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. Drew Gulak ended up winning. But I did see the end to it though, but not the full match though. So Drew Gulak got the win. Then we get to the regular matches that were on the card. First match to kick off the pay-per-view was the No Holds Barred match. Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. And by the time the bell rung, it was already 8:18. Yes, I'm not shitting you. They did not ring the bell for this match until 8:18. Almost 20 minutes into the pay-per-view. But I have to say, this was a decent match. This was a entertaining match. The Undertaker here, I thought he redeemed himself after that horrible, shitty match that he had with Goldberg at Super Showdown, which apparently he was pissed off at. Undertaker was pissed off at how that match went. And I don't blame him. That was a shitty fucking match between Taker and Goldberg. But he moved really well here, the Undertaker. Even though, I pretty much, want him to retire because, how long can WWE have the Undertaker go? Who knows? But, you had the Undertaker. He ended up hitting, the end of the match, he ended up hitting the Tombstone pile driver to Shane. You had Roman end up spearing Drew McIntyre. And, the Undertaker and Roman Reigns won. Like I said, Tombstone pile driver from Undertaker to Shane. And hopefully this pretty much ends, with Roman and Shane in this feud. So now, I guess, Shane's, feud now is going to be with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens going out there on Tuesday, getting on the mic, mentioning Shane about, he gets, too much TV time, and none of the other superstars get time on TV. Now it's going to lead to, now Shane's going to lead to a feud with Kevin Owens. But all in all, it was a decent match. It was a decent no-holds-barred match. Then after that, we had Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. They were being interviewed by Sarah Schreiber. And they just talk about how they're going to win their match against Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. And then, they're going to retain their titles because it was a winner-takes-all mixed tag team, mixed tag team Extreme Rules match. That took place backstage. Then we had the Raw Tag Team Championship match, the Revival versus the Usos, which was a decent match. The Revival, I like the Revival, very entertaining. Although WWE has, had made them, look like a joke, in the past, months. But we've seen it before with the Revival and the Usos. But the Revival ended up getting the win. They ended up hitting the Shatter Machine to Jimmy Uso. So the Revival ended up retaining the Raw Tag Team Championships. But overall, it was a decent match. Then we had Aleister Black versus Cesaro. Of course, Cesaro was the one who knocked on, Aleister's door. And you saw last Tuesday on SmackDown, Cesaro sat down and, this set up, the match for Extreme Rules. And this was a good match, in my opinion. I was entertained by it. It was good to see Alistar back in the ring after, maybe like 2 months of him just cutting, promo after promo after promo after promo after promo. But it was good to see Alistar back in the ring again. Still entertaining. I liked how he worked on Cesaro here in the match. But Alistar ended up getting the win. He ended up hitting the Black Mass to Cesaro to score the win. So, Alistar needed this win because, he was just cutting promos for, those months. So, WWE was not going to let Alistar just go out there, take a loss, and be like that. I knew going into this match that Alistar was going to win it. because he had to. He hasn't had a match since before the Superstar Shakeup, when he was still teaming with Ricochet. So, but it was good that he got this win. But overall, it was a good match between the both of them. Then we had R-Truth and Carmella. They were looking for Hornswoggle, which R-Truth was talking about Drake Maverick, which he confuses Drake Maverick with Hornswoggle. And we see Alexa Bliss. She ends up coming through the door. She ends up coming along, of course, with Nikki Cross. R-Truth ends up asking Alexa if he's in the room she came from before moving on. If Drake Maverick was in the room. And then we see Alexa ends up giving Nikki a gift. So Nikki ended up opening up the gift, and in the box, the gift was a t-shirt. And then we see the Street Profits. Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, they come in. They hype up their match, Alexa and Nikki versus Bayley. And the Street Profits end up, mocking the idea of, if Alexa and Nikki win the match and they both have to share the title, the SmackDown Women's Championship. So the Street Profits end up, joking around and mocking that idea that, of Alexa and Nikki being co-SmackDown Women's Champion. And that eventually led into, the match. And the match was, after what we saw backstage. So then we had Bayley versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. 2-on-1 handicap match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. To me, this match was meh at best. It was just back and forth between them. Bayley was pretty much dominating on Alexa and Nikki here. And Bayley ended up getting the win. She ended up hitting the elbow, flying elbow from the top to Nikki Cross. And then Bayley ended up pinning Nikki. That's when Bayley won the match. Bayley still retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. Overall, it was a meh match, in my opinion. Then we had the Club, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, AJ Styles. They were being interviewed backstage. AJ says that they are more than friends, and that they're like brothers. Both, Gallows, Anderson, and him. Styles says that Ricochet just happened to be in the way. Styles ends up putting Ricochet over, and he says he's going to take the United States Championship away from him. And then we see all three of them do the other two sweet, and they walk off. So it's a decent interview with Styles. Then we have Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. Last man standing match. Which, this match, I have to say, this was match of the night, in my opinion. Both Strowman and Lashley gave it all they got here. They were destroying each other. They went through the crowd. They went into the arena, with all the crowd, where they go out of, the sections. like to get food or go to the bathroom. You had a crowd there, which they were chanting on Strowman and Lashley. And Strowman ended up throwing Lashley, into the merchandise area right there in the arena. There was chairs being used, and they just went all around the arena. Then you had Strowman end up throwing or tossing Lashley over to the international announce table over there, which was really awesome. He just threw Lashley like a rag doll into the international announcers table, which was cool. Then you had, at the end of the match, Strowman ended up hitting a power slam off it was like a walkway. It was off an elevated walkway. So both men were laid out while the referee was, counting to 10. And then when it got to maybe 6 or 7, when the ref was counting 6 or 7, we saw Strowman end up punching through, I guess it was the wall there that they blocked. So Strowman ended up coming out of there, and the referee was still counting because Lashley was still down. Lashley never recovered. So the ref counted at 10, and Strowman ended up winning the match. Which to me, I knew that Strowman was going to win it. I knew that Strowman was going to win the match. No way that Lashley was going to win it. And also during the match, you had Lashley end up spearing Strowman through the barricade, which was cool. But all in all, this was match of the night in my opinion. I really enjoyed this match, and the crowd was really into it also. When Strowman ended up power slamming Lashley off that elevated walkway, crowd was chanting ECW, ECW, which was cool, because you could tell the crowd was really into this match. But overall, like I said, match of the night. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed this match. Then we had the New Day versus Daniel Bryan, Rowan, and Heavy Machinery. Triple threat tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And this match itself, it was decent. Was rooting for Heavy Machinery to win this match because I think Heavy Machinery is a good tag team. I really like them. Owens, Vic, Tucker Knight. They're very fun. They're over with the crowd. And, the New Day, of course, here, they were, of course, 5-time tag team champions. But in the end, like I said, I was rooting for Heavy Machinery here through this match because, to me, they should be the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. But in the end, the New Day end up getting the win. They are now 6-time Tag Team Champions. So New Day, Xavier, and Big E, they end up hitting the midnight hour on Daniel Bryan. And that's when, New Day end up winning. So the New Day are your 6-time SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So, but, the WWE had a good plan right here to put the titles on Heavy Machinery. But they end up doing it backwards. WWE ended up putting the titles back on their favorites. And that's the New Day. It just proves that WWE has, pretty much no plans for heavy machinery. For them to have, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. But hopefully at some point, heavy machinery become the champions. WWE should put the titles on them. They're over with the crowd. They're very entertaining. They're a good tag team. But yet, they put it on the New Day. It's rinse and repeat. But still, the match itself, it was decent. I was rooting for heavy machinery through the whole thing. But there you go. New Day, 6-time tag team champions. Then after the match, we saw the New Day. They were celebrating backstage. Kofi was there celebrating with his brothers. Then we see Paul Heyman. He passes by them, makes his way out, makes his entrance. He's on the mic, does his introduction, with the ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And he ends up putting over Philadelphia because, of course, ECW originated from Philadelphia. So, and he says he won't leave Philadelphia. He won't leave Philly without being part of history. And he declares that Brock Lesnar will cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase tonight. And he says he'll have the honor and privilege of leaving town with either the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship. Wonder what championship he cashed in on. Yeah, you see me making that face. I'll get to that. I'll get to that soon. But I know you all are probably thinking about it in your head. You all probably have seen it if you watch the pay-per-view. And he says, Heyman ends up saying, we have to ask ourselves if he's telling the truth, or is he Paul Heyman? So Paul Heyman said all that. Then he went to the back. We had that. So it was confirmed that Brock Lesnar was in the arena. Then we had AJ Styles versus Ricochet for the United States Championship. Of course, AJ Styles came out with Gallows and Anderson by his side. And match itself, it was decent. It was entertaining with these two. It's back and forth between the both of them. Both Styles and Ricochet worked really well here in this match, in my opinion. He had points where it was Carl Anderson. He ended up getting involved in the match by taking down Ricochet. And that's after Carl Anderson did that. Styles ended up taking control of the match. Ended up hitting the Styles Clash on Ricochet. So after that, Styles ended up pinning Ricochet. There you go. Styles wins the match and wins the United States Championship. So AJ Styles is your new United States Champion. Kind of feel bad for Ricochet considering, he just won the United States considering he just won the United States Championship a few weeks ago. Now they strip him of the title and put it on Styles. Feel bad for Ricochet. Ricochet should have had a longer title reign with the U.S. title. All in all, match itself, it was decent. Then we had Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. Do I really need to talk about this match? All this match was Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler. They were in the ring. You had Dolph ends up slapping Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens ends up kicking Dolph to the gut. Dolph is laid out. Kevin Owens goes for the pin. There you go. Kevin Owens wins the match in 2 seconds. 2 fucking seconds. There you go. Dolph, of course, buried here. There you go. This was not a match to me. A kick to the gut from Kevin Owens to Dolph. 2 fucking seconds. This match lasted. Then you had after the match, Kevin Owens got on the mic, cuts a promo. He was picking up where he left off on Tuesday, where he went out, did that pipe bomb on Shane, saying, oh, Shane McMahon is getting too much TV time. And he ends up saying, what he said on Tuesday, he stands by what he said. And I agree with what he said on Tuesday. Shane is getting all this TV time, and superstars that are not even used are not even getting the TV time. It's mostly all every week Shane on TV, and people are getting sick of it. So Kevin Owens said that he expected to get suspended or even fired, but he says since Shane got a tombstone piledriver from the Undertaker, he thinks he's safe, and he says he speaks for everyone when he says Shane can kiss his ass and go straight to hell. So that's basically what Kevin Owens ended up saying. But it was pretty good. I like this aggressiveness from Kevin Owens. I like this Kevin Owens. And what I heard, they're trying to make Kevin Owens to be, the next, like they're trying to make him be like Stone Cold Steve Austin, going out here, getting on the mic, cutting the promo like he did on Tuesday and tonight. There's only one Stone Cold Steve Austin. You cannot make Kevin Owens, like Stone Cold. But it was a good promo from Kevin Owens. Then we had Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. This match itself, it was okay. Back and forth between Kingston and Joe. Going into this match, I knew that Kofi was probably going to retain the title. Joe, WWE, I don't know what they're doing with Joe. It looks like to me that they're making Joe a jobber. Because, when is the last, can't remember when the last time Joe actually, won a match. But, Kofi ended up getting the win. Trolling Paradise to Joe. And there you go. Kofi ends up winning the match, retaining the WWE Championship. WWE could have, pulled a shocker here and had Joe win the title. Defeat Kofi and win the title. They obviously chose not to do that. I'm sorry to say, they're making Joe a jobber. And Joe is not that superstar that you want to make a jobber. He's not. Samoa Joe is not jobber status. unbelievable what they're doing with Joe. Unfucking believable. There you go. Overall, it was an okay match between Kofi and Joe. Then we have Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins versus Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. Winner takes all Extreme Rules mixed tag team match for the Universal Championship and the Raw Women's Championship. If both Becky and Seth lost the match, the Universal and Raw Women's Championships would go to Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. And going into this match, I thought this match was going to suck. I thought this was going to be a boring fucking match. But as the match went on, I gotta say, the match itself, it was decent. It wasn't that bad of a match. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, they end up taking down Lacey and Baron Corbin. And Lacey Evans, when she came out, and the camera panned to one of like the trout or ring attire, and it had Seth Rollins' initials on it. It was like on the back of her butt, and that attire that she was wearing, it had SR on it. But they used tables, they used chairs here, kendo sticks. At one point where it was Becky and Seth, they ended up suplexing Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans on the grate where the ramp is, which was a pretty hard, which was pretty hard to watch, because you heard that grate go, that grate slam really loud when Becky and Seth did that suplex to Lacey Evans and Corbin on that. Just was very loud. You could feel the pain that when they hit. And then you had Then you had a shocking thing which came out of nowhere, where Baron Corbin, he hit the end of days on Becky Lynch. And that pissed off Rollins. You could tell, you saw it on the look on his face, how pissed he was that Corbin did that. And you heard Corbin saying, "You little piece of shit," which, obviously they muted, the shit word. But you pretty much, heard Corbin say it. And that's when you had Rollins ends up hitting Corbin with the kendo stick, chair shot. And Rollins ended up hitting the curb stomp. Lacey Evans ran away. And the match ended with Seth Rollins hitting another curb stomp to Corbin, pins Corbin, and Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins wins the match. And they still retain the Universal and Raw Women's Championships. Seth, Universal Champion. Becky, of course, Raw Women's Champion. But, Paul Heyman was out there earlier saying Brock Lesnar, was going to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. So, after this, Brock Lesnar's music hits. Brock Lesnar comes out, cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Match gets on the way, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. And right when Brock Lesnar's music hit, I knew that he was going to cash in on the Universal Championship. He was going to cash in and fight for the Universal Championship. Now, what this meant, what this was Brock Lesnar, two suplexes to Seth Rollins. That's how the match began. 2 suplexes to Seth Rollins. Brock Lesnar picks up Seth. F5. Brock pins Seth. There you go. Brock Lesnar wins the Universal Championship. This is for the, like, think of this as the third time. So Brock Lesnar is a 3-time Universal Champion. And right by Brock winning the Universal Championship back, this proves the Universal Championship is once again completely irrelevant. This is total and utter fucking garbage. So now, we're not going to be seeing the Universal Championship on TV until maybe 3 months. So you put the title back on Brock Lesnar when Seth defeated Brock at WrestleMania. Now that makes this all completely, like, what the fuck? Seth Rollins defeats Brock Lesnar and he wins the Universal Championship. Then WWE decides to put the Universal Championship back on Brock Lesnar? What? What does Brock Lesnar winning back the Universal Championship, what does it mean? It means fucking nothing. So you're going to have Brock off of TV, probably maybe about 3 months, maybe. Or unless they have him at SummerSlam. Who knows if WWE is going to book Brock Lesnar for SummerSlam. Like I said, once again, Universal Championship. Once again, completely fucking irrelevant and off TV. What a fucking joke. The Universal Championship right now is a fucking joke. Once again. Unfucking believable. What a garbage end to this pay-per-view. It was a decent show, but a garbage fucking ending. Put the title back on Brock Lesnar. Now Brock Lesnar's just gonna sit home, not do nothing, have the title on him, and the title's not gonna be on TV. God knows how long. I said 3 months, but it's probably gonna be longer than that. Who knows? Like I said, who knows if WWE is gonna have Brock Lesnar compete at SummerSlam. But anyways, Brock Lesnar, like I said, your new Universal Champion, for a third time. Anyways, that's it for my review of Extreme Rules. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. And definitely give the video a thumbs up. Comment, subscribe, and until the next video, which will possibly be the Monday Night Raw review. So until then, I'll see you all tomorrow night for the Raw review, which I heard, this Raw tomorrow night is gonna have it's gonna be like a change, as some people were saying, but I'm gonna see if there's change. I don't expect it. I know it's just going to be the same old Raw, same old shit. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So, anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow night with the Raw review.